Got a very ugly subject to talk to you about, and not my favorite subject, but I think it's a good one. Lawsuits. There's a possibility if you're running a brand that one day you'll find an agency and they'll tell you that they want to sign a contract with you for services. Sometimes for 3 months, sometimes for 6 months, sometimes for 12 months. So I usually don't have any problem signing a contract with people for 3 months. I like to put a clause in there. I like to put within reason or reasonable circumstances, so that if there's a numbers problem, for instance, like say, when you're on board with these guys, your MER is 5.4 and you sign with them for 90 days and you're in there for 60 and your MER is 2.2, well, that's kind of unreasonable. That's a lot of money. So you want to get rid of that agency and you want to leave. You don't want to be stuck in the contract. So you want to put within reasonable circumstances, or have your lawyer write the wording. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not your lawyer, but I'll just tell you that if you can get your lawyer to throw a reasonable clause in there, it's probably pretty hard for them to sue you, especially if they've really screwed things up. I would say any agency that wants you to sign anything more than 3 months, I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know why they would want that. Maybe they don't believe in themselves. Is that it? They don't believe that they can do it, so they want you to sign up for 6 months because they don't think in 3 or 4 months that they can do the trick. Could be it. What about they're financially unstable? They don't want you leaving because they need your money to operate their business. I don't usually like to take a partnership with anybody who's financially unstable. The agency tells me that they need us for a certain period of time because they're going to make some employment contracts or something like that. They're going to make some commitments. Once somebody starts telling me that their business requires my business for them to remain financially solvent, it starts to look like not so attractive a operation there. So if you're in business with somebody, I would say hire an agency is going into business with them, and they want you to sign a 6 to 12 month contract. You want to start looking at why they're asking to do that. Start investigating. One thing I would ask them is, I would just say to them, have you been involved in a breach of contract lawsuit with one of your clients? Just wait for the answer. Then you could say, has an LLC that you were involved in, or any LLC that you're involved in your name, have you been involved in a lawsuit for breach of contract with one of your clients? And see where that goes. And if that conversation is not so great, if they're not comfortable talking about that kind of stuff, it tells you something about them. If somebody who's in the service business and their business relies upon fixed contracts when performance is not an issue, it might not be the right agency for you. I don't think I would choose a performance agency or, whatever, growth agency, whatever they're going to call it. I don't think I would choose them if it required a long contract with big financial commitments and no chance to opt out if the performance was not up to what I would want it to be. So those are hard questions. Here's a good little trick for you too. This is a good one. When I was in real estate, I used to do this all the time. So I would meet somebody and they'd be really cool. They'd be like, oh man, you're cool. I like you. You're so friendly. Such a good person. We want to do business with you. So I would just get the Google out and I would put their name in and then I would Google them. At some point in the conversation, I would send them an email and I would say, I just want to ask a question. It's kind of like, run-of-the-mill type question. You might get this question all the time, but my question is, have you or any entity you've been involved in been sued for, or you have sued for, breach of contract in any kind of transaction? Have you been involved in any bankruptcy or insolvency? And you start asking those questions. If people can't comfortably say, I've never been involved in a breach of contract lawsuit, if they have to start explaining to you stuff, that's fine. I mean, reasonable, but if they have a bunch of them, that's when you want to start moving on. And I've been sued. Yeah, I've been sued. I've been in real estate for a number of years. I've done north of $10+ million real estate deals in over a 20-year period. So I've been involved in lawsuits, and I'm not afraid to explain to somebody what happened. They can look up the lawsuit. They can see what happened. There's disagreements that occur. But I would say if you're in a performance industry and people are chasing you, you're chasing people down to get payment from them, that probably means that the work might not be so great, because you usually don't have to chase people to pay you if you're doing great work. So maybe they're getting involved with the wrong kind of clients that are not doing good, and they can't perform because the client's not doing their job. And it just seems to be like the kind of thing where you'd let the client go. It's just my take on things, but I think Google is your friend here. Ask them if they've been involved in any breach. Start Googling them and you'll find out.